On these Auxbeam Jeep RGB headlights, here's what comes in the box. We got the RGB control unit. It's a box with a plug for each headlight, and then we got these loose connectors right here, and they go to we got the red to power, black to ground, then these two go to your turn signals. And then we got the anti-flicker modules for new vehicles. I don't have a new vehicle, so I won't be using these. And then we got the headlights. Just look like that with the connector. And then each one comes with another connector for other types of vehicles that goes to something that looks like that. And then we got instructions on how to set up the RGB when we get them put in. So in these old trucks, they start with like a bezel that goes around it. So there's like 1, 2, 3, and then 4 bolts. We got our Phillips screws we got to take out. So we're just gonna start taking these out here. And a lot of times on these trucks, the headlight bezel plastics crack and they're not even really held on. But since I restored the grill and everything, I got all new hardware and plastic pieces that you actually screw into. So I'll be right back when I get this off. Alright, so I got the bezel off, and you can see it's held on by this little ring right here, and it's got some screws in it. There's 3 on this truck. I don't know about like Jeeps or any other. Yeah, you can see all 3 of those. See, the little ring comes off, and the headlight comes out, and then you can take the clip off for the wiring. And you can see why I was getting new ones, because this one's full of water at the bottom, and they're not that bright, so LEDs will be a good upgrade. So you can see the new one compared to the old one. They got the little edge on to hook it to, and then I'm lucky that I just got the same type of connector on them that'll connect right up in there. So the only thing I was worried about is I might have to cut the bucket a little bit to get the wire to go in there, since one thing you gotta watch out for is the connector doesn't actually come out the direct middle, but I think I actually luck out on these and I won't have to cut anything. So, and then on these you don't actually have to take those little screws out. You can just, if your ring's got a secondary hole that's bigger, you can just loosen them and then twist the ring. And the secondary hole, you can see how it's bigger, so you just twist it like that and it pops right out. Okay, so before you actually put the thing back in there, don't forget your little RGB cable. So this is the driver's side, which I'm going to make left. So whenever you hook up your turn signals, make sure your left wire is for the driver's side turn signal. So to put these on, you just gotta line up the inside bit. Let's see. And they're a pretty tight fit, and then you screw it together like that. It's tight, and then you go ahead and plug it in. And then you can just tuck your cords back in. So pull this RGB one. Call it tag. There we go. It's kind of hard to tuck back in there on this truck. There's not much room at all. Just kind of push it and look about like that. Okay, so this side is just installed, so I'm going to hit the lights just to make sure it works real quick. So that's your low beam right there. And then I'm gonna hit the high beam and that bottom one should light up here. So yep, the bottom one does work. So, yeah, it's lighting up the garage over there. It's got a nice sharp beam on the wall. It's pretty bright in here, so you really can't tell. And this is compared to the old one over there. It doesn't actually do much, so that's a lot better. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the outer piece on there. I'm gonna have to take it off though at nighttime so I can actually adjust the headlight because it was off before a little bit. So, but I'm just gonna see what it actually looks like. So here's the RGB working on the lights. I'll show you how I hooked it up. So one of the wires I ran to, I spliced it in to the actual wiring harness, and then I ran the others to the other side, and then I spliced the other side into the harness down there. And then for the main power, I just ran it straight to the battery lead on the starter solenoid. So that means I'm going to have power there all times, so I'm just going to have to turn it on and off with my phone. I may have to, I may decide to like run it on a key power, but for right now I'm just going to make sure everything works. So I'm going to have to get all this wiring tidied up. I'm probably going to end up redoing it eventually, because the one bad thing about it is, let's see if it'll focus here. Their ground wire is like super short, so I don't have any movement here. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to mount this box up in this radiator support, but I'm just kind of making sure everything works. I'll try it for a couple of days, and if it works, I'll get the box mounted, lengthen the ground, and get everything else looking pretty good. Because right now it's like a rat's nest, and it's not good at all. But I mean, they do work. So here's the turn signal function. You can see the halos light up this amber color with the turn signals. So it'll definitely work pretty good at night. And whenever you got like a mode, like a certain color on there, it actually cancels that out and overrides it for your turn signals. So like if I had this turn signal on, that one over there, see if it's red, and then this one's still flashing, but if you turn this turn signal off, it goes back to red like that one is over there. So I can flip to the other one, and you can see I didn't do anything, it's back red, and now that one's flashing orange. So how to use them with your phone, use the Happy Lighting app. So I can turn them on and off with the phone. You can use you can pick any color you want. Looks like it's on the truck, but yeah, you can pick any of these colors. You can also pick this wheel and pick anything you want. They also have this style, so you can pick different modes, and you just use this slider on the phone. You just pick different things. Let me just pick a couple and but there's tons and tons. I'm already 153 on the selections. There's just absolutely a bunch of them to pick from.